You want to know what's going on? Let me tell you the story of Rayman. In Rayman's world, nature and people live together in peace. The Great Protoon provides and maintains the harmony and balance in the world. Sorry, folks, this apparently can't last. One fateful day, the evil Mr. Dark steals the Great Protoon and defeats Batilla the Fairy as she tries to protect it. The Electoons who used to gravitate all around it lose their natural stability and scatter all over the world. Troublesome, isn't it? And untidy, too. In this now unbalanced world, strange phenomena begin to occur. Freaks and hostile characters appear, capturing every Electoon they can find. They definitely need a hero to save them now! Don't you think? Rayman to the rescue!
No problem.
Go and free the Electoons, Rayman, and bring back the Great Protoon from its mysterious kidnapper. But will the bad guys let him do it?
Hello everyone, and welcome back to one of Let's Plays, the series where I show off games in my collection that I just felt like playing, and today, out of all the games, I decided to play a little bit of Rayman for the PS1, because this game was a huge part of my childhood, and I mean like ever since I was like, what, 5 or 6 years old? But fun fact, I've actually never beat this game, like at all. Even today, I still can't, because this game proves quite a challenge or so, given the fact that, you know, at the beginning it acts all easy and stuff, and it's got the difficulty level of, say, like Mario games, like, well, as of late or so, I suppose, like Mario Galaxy or something, but later on, the game gets just unforgivably difficult in places. It's actually pretty surprising, given the fact that, you know, on the box, this game is, like, rated 3 and over and stuff, but still. But here we are with Rayman. It's basically a 2D platformer, if you've never heard of this game before, but I will be honest, like, if you're a gamer or so, surely you must have heard of Rayman somewhere. Because, I mean, you know, there's also been Rayman 2, The Great Escape, on freaking every single platform. That game's had far too many ports, I find. The best version I find is the Dreamcast, though. Then came Rayman 3, Hoodlum Havoc, which some of you played, I guess. Or you may even be familiar with him when it comes to, like, the Rabbids side of things, or Rayman Origins, or Rayman Legends. Let's just say, you know, surely you've heard of Rayman somewhere. He's up there with, like, Sonic the Hedgehog when it comes to popularity, if you ask me. But still. This game, though, honestly, it does borrow some elements similar to Mario in places, given the fact that we have tings instead. Yes, that's what these blue balls that we're collecting are, by the way. They're called tings. Because if you collect 100 of them, you get given an extra life, but you can also use them to give them to this magician, which will basically allow you to go to these extra levels in order to get extra lives. Now, the only reason why I'm doing this for an extra life is because you are going to need them in this game. Like, this is a game that you will just need to go all out of your way to get the lives, because they will be worth it later on, because, like I said at the very beginning, you know, this game just gets very hard later on, and you're gonna need those lives. Because even though you have, like, I think it's 3 continues, they will go down so fast because some of the bullcrap you get in this game later is just ridiculous or so. But I still think this game is easily playable today, I find. I mean, given the fact that, you know, I'm just playing it here today or so. On the PS1, obviously. Because, I mean, you can also get this for, like, the PS3, you know, with PSN, or even play this on your PlayStation Vita. But I'm actually playing this on an original PS1, hooked up through RGB SCAT and being fancy and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know, I just like playing things the original way, really. That's the way I prefer it, or so. I mean, sure, there's emulation, but I don't know. Just recording from the original system that this game was originally released on, it's just better to me, what can I say? Also, one little trick I find that you can do is this. If you press like the circle button, you'll like pull this funny face and then cause that guy to go into like the water. That serves little purpose, I guess, other than just a little thing added or so. I mean, come on, this was like 1995, so I suppose this was all brand new back then. But that's literally the only thing I believe that thing is useful for. Everything else I've tried it on, enemies, bosses, it doesn't really do much. So I guess it's just there to scare the tall guys and then make them go into the water. Well, so after a while of trying to beat the levels, you'll eventually come across Batilla the Fairy. As you can see, as it says right there, even though I'm is written in lowercase. I've actually just noticed that just now, that's actually kind of weird. But still. And she will grant us the power of punching. Yeah, for some reason when you first start the game, what happens is Rayman just can't punch or hang or do anything. If anything, he's pretty useless, really. So, you know, along the lines of how further you get into the game, that will give you, like, more powers in order to get through it and stuff. But here we are with, like, the second level, and given the fact that we can now punch, this now allows us to free these things called, damn it, what are they called? I actually forgot the name. I think these are called, Protoons. Ignore everything I say on this part. They are actually called Electoons and not Protoons. Silly me. Yes, that's it. They're called proteins or so, which you need to save. I remember that because of, like, the cutscene that we saw at the very beginning. That's actually the only way I remember it or so. Because that's one thing I've noticed, like, you know, with some games. They don't ever tell you the name in the cutscenes and that, so you always just wonder, like, what is it? Or even, how do you pronounce it, you know? Because, I mean, I've honestly never really heard, for instance, you know, if you've played, like, The Legend of Zelda, there's this place called Lake Hylia. Or some people even say Lake Hylia. But nobody in the Zelda, you know, franchise or so has ever said it, so I don't know exactly how it's pronounced. I don't know, it's just I find that with some things now. I'm like, just, how do you pronounce it? I don't know, I just pronounce it my own way. The same with people who say Deku as well. I say Deku, although some people go Deku. I guess it's all just a matter of preference when it comes to Legend of Zelda or something, but still. Also, one thing I think I tried to do here at some point on this level was, what was it? I tried to, like, punch a life or so, because if you get, like, the hanging ability, or at least grabbing rings, that allows you to grab lives as well to make things a lot easier. So even though, you know, you do get, like, new powers later on through the game, and they're used for one thing, you can use them to your advantage to make things a little easier or so. Because there's like, this one minigame that we get to later on, which I swear is designed for the hanging ability, because trying to do it without it is, like, so freaking precise, it's ridiculous. Like, honestly, I did, like, virtually a flawless run of it, but I still had, like, 4 or 3 seconds left. You know, that's what I'm talking about when it comes to, like, the difficulty or so. And you gotta remember, like, this is also from the first level. You know, expect much worse later on. Particularly, I think the worst part of this game, which I never really seem to get past or so, or at least I probably could, but I really don't want to waste my time and just spend most of my life trying to beat this game, is when you get to, like, Picture City, because Picture City is basically, you know, a really hard area. I apologize about that, I had a bit of an interruption right there and stuff. But yeah, Picture City in that basically has a whole bunch of bottomless pits and places where you can't see where you're going. Like, pencils would just come out of nowhere and just hit you and stuff. And in ways, even though, like, you know, the difficulty of this game gets a bit harder later on, I do find that also it can be pretty unfair in places, given the fact that, you know, some things will just come out of nowhere and kill you, and you just won't have time to react or anything. And the only way you can learn it, really, is mostly through trial and error. I mean, trial and error works well in some games, like, you know, trial and error the game, of course, no. Dark Souls the game. Because, I mean, you know, that's just where you learn from your mistakes and you keep trying again. But a 2D platformer like Rayman, I don't know, it seems a bit inexcusable to me. And this is the minigame that I was on about, by the way, where I said this one proves a lot of a challenge. Because, look what I'm doing, okay? I'm pressing, like, the jump button or so at the very tiniest bit of the ledge or so. Because if you just press it, like, a slight second before, Rayman will just not be able to make it. You know, just the very inch or top of his foot or so. Just, like, reaches it, and then, look, I've got, like, 4 seconds, or even 5, and that's, you know, just how you get the life on there. Given the fact of how difficult it was, I just think it's a bit ridiculous, you know, for, like, the first level. It's probably more designed for like when you get the hanging ability, but I'm honestly not too sure. I just always find it satisfying though to do it without. But that's the thing, like when it comes to Rayman, is that I have just sort of a love-hate relationship with this game. At times, I love it because it's so fun, it's so colourful, it's cute, it's charming. It's got a fantastic soundtrack, actually. But, you know, at times I'll hate it due to just how unforgivably difficult it gets. And the difficulty just isn't fair in places. I know it looks pretty easy at the minute, but this is like the first part of the game, you know? But even when I was a kid or so, I actually had a lot of difficulty with the first levels. Particularly the later ones when you get to Bongo Hills. Even now! Like, I still can't play through this game without dying. I swear, anybody who can play through this game once without dying is a freaking god at, like, every single thing imaginable. But, that's also the password thing right there, just to show off, you know, if you don't have a memory card or so, you can always, like, use passwords in order to, like, save your game progress and then get back to where you are. But now we're on to, Anguish Lagoon, which, surprisingly, compared to the first level, is a lot smaller. And there's also a sign back there in case you want to go to it and then go back to the level, which is ideal, I think, and should be placed more often in the game. Because the problem is, like, in this game, you'll have to do, like, a bit of backtracking here and there in order to get some of the, Protoons and that, and then just rescue everything. Because, unfortunately, the only way to beat the game is to beat it to 100%. And that means by literally, if you want to, you know, defeat the last boss in the game and beat it as a whole, you need to free all the Protoons. Like, I keep saying Electoons for some reason, I don't know why. But yeah, you need to collect all the Protoons and just beat all the levels and that, you know, with like 3 continues, and oh boy. Honestly, I think they should have made the Protoon side of things a bit of an extra thing in order to unlock it. Like, maybe just make, you know, the normal story, just clear the levels and just make the Protoons optional. Just don't do it the other way, you know? But still. Also, oh damn it. I appear to, like, have jumped on the sign or so. See, that's what I mean. It brings you back to the level. Except what happened there is I jumped, and I hit, like, the edge of the thing, which caused me to fall onto it. I was trying to jump over the sign to get to the thing, because I was showing off, like, a little shortcut that you can do on this. Because you're actually supposed to get this one with, like, a later upgrade, as far as I'm aware, which allows you to hang on rings, which was used, like, in Rayman 2 and 3, so it shows that it works pretty well. I think it just suits Rayman in general. You know, that pink ring up right there. But if you go onto, like, this little plum, bring it down, and you jump onto it at a certain point, you're able to, like, go on top of here. And instead of going that way and then going to hit the sign, I'm instead going to drop down here and then hit it like this, just to make things a bit easier for me. You're really supposed to get that when you do get that power-up also. So, you know, at times I suppose you can sort of, I guess, sequence break this game. But, you know, in most places it also is not possible because this game has very, very good design. I mean, even though I said, like, it's difficult in places and the design gets really bullcrap later on, you know, the actual design of it is done very well because, I mean, you can't really do stuff in order to break the game that much. That's pretty much one of the only things I think I've discovered so far when it comes to getting things early. Or hell, the way I did it was probably even the way they intend you to do it. To be honest, I am not sure, but look at the background down there, it looks really nice. Even though the flowers kind of look a bit strange moving around, but still. Also, you might be wondering why I'm breaking the cages in one shot if some of you, have already played this and that. You'll find that when you pick up the fists, which are like golden, and they say S on them as well, that powers up your speed of your fist as well as your power. Because, if it's just normally white and that, you need to hit things a couple more times and stuff. But if you collect those, it just makes it a bit easier in order to hit things and stuff like that, but still. Also, I just look at my life counter, and I have 12 lives so far, blimmin' hell. I think I played this game way too much in my childhood, which explains why I'm doing well on it at the minute. But now, after all this, we are going to come across a boss, which is this guy. I think his name is Mosquito as far as I'm aware, except he doesn't really look very nice, so I'm just going to punch him in the face or so. There's actually a little trick you can do to this to make this boss fight a lot easier though, because there'll be a phase where he'll go down or up and then try to hit you with his nose. But if you jump and aim for your fist at him, you're able to hit him just, before he goes into his other phase in order for you to hit him like that. So you just jump and aim for your fist. It just gets the fight done, a lot quicker. I also find it a nice little touch how if you stay still for a while, Rayman just kind of, he just, you know, shakes and be scared for a little bit, just to, I don't know, give him some sort of personality and all that, because this was 1995, it was amazing then. Also, I really didn't get this at all. This was cute to me as a kid, but this just makes no sense. So, you know, Rayman just beats up the mosquito, it cries, and he pats it on, like, the head, or the eye in this case, and now they're best friends. Like, what? I don't really get that, like, at all. You know, you just, like, punched him in the face and that, but no, apparently not, we're best friends now. It's like pretty much how, you know, Sonic encounters Knuckles or so, like, for the first time in that. He thinks he's a bad guy, but now, magically, he's a good guy, and then they're friends. You know, that's just like a cycle that just doesn't make any sense to me at all, and it's used quite a lot in games. Also, that's what I mean, given the fact that we have one Protoon left right there, because when you free all the Protoons, you know, the level, or at least like the world map side of it, and that becomes like this huge happy face just to show that it's being completed to 100%, but, you know, I've got like, what's it, 4 out of 5 so far, because I believe there's like 5 in total, because the 5th one you need to get by getting the ring one later, because I mean I tried to get to it before by sequence breaking, but it just wasn't possible and stuff. So I love the music in this area, particularly because this game kind of showed off, you know, what the PS1 could do when it came to sound, given the fact that there were like some sort of close to orchestrated soundtracks, I guess, not completely orchestra though, given the fact that, you know, the PS1 had its limitations to like sound capabilities as well as graphics and stuff, but still, you know, I just think Rayman, in terms of graphics and sounds, holds up pretty well today. That bit, though, can be pretty hard to do, considering the screen scrolls by really fast, and if you're playing it on, like, an old monitor, or something with a bit of a delay, you know, it can sometimes be hard to see those spikes at the very edge, because you have to go right through the center in order to make through all of it safely. You're courageous, Rayman, but you'll have to keep at it. Okay, so, what you giving me? You know I have the power to hang! Oh dear, I hope he doesn't actually do that or so, that'd be pretty tragic. But yeah, so get this, we can punch and we can hang. Aren't these amazing powers? I mean, seriously, like, we could learn this, like, I pretty much learnt this when I was a kid. Probably at, like, the age of 5 or 6, or I can't remember or so, but still. I just find it a bit weird to call them a power, more of just a thing you can just physically do as a human being, you know? I wouldn't really consider it a power or anything like that. But right now we have like Swamps of Forgetfulness and Bongo Hills. But what I want to do first is backtrack a little bit and show you the password, just to show that, you know, if the further you get in the game, obviously the password changes. And it's the same to every bit of password you go to on like the world map and stuff. But I'm gonna like cut ahead or so to, what's it, the bit where we're needed to hang in order to get like the last Protoons. So see you guys in a mo. Okay, now that I'm right here or so, you'll notice like this bit up here, where if we jump onto it by hanging, we're able to access a new area and then just get like the last Protoons that are available. And it's something that you're going to have to do a lot in Rayman, unfortunately. There's going to be a lot of backtracking in places, particularly because, you know, there will just be some Protoons that you can't quite get because you need this ability, and it can also be annoying if you spend forever on like a certain part, you know, just going through it normally, only to find you have to do that all over again just to get one Protoon. And the back things, you know, like the arrows at the very beginning, they literally only just appear like at the beginning of the level. It's actually quite unfortunate because, I mean, that means if you go past like the first scene and then onto the second one, it means you basically have to clear the whole entire map in order to save getting the Protoon, which kind of sucks really. But there you go, there's all 5 of them, and, well, I mean, there's not really much else I need to show off, really, in this level, so I might as well just cut ahead and then see you guys back at the world map, so then we can see that it is complete. Okay, now that's all done and stuff, I reckon I'm honestly going to call it off here for Rayman for the PS1 or so. So if you like this game, you can always pick it up for, like, the PS1 or play PSN or PS Vita or just whatever. Do your research and you'll like it. You can even actually get this game on DSiWare, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, I'm gonna call it off here or so. So take care guys, I hope you've enjoyed this one-off Let's Play of Rayman for the PS1. A game that I recommend playing, but expect difficulty later on, because it gets really bloody hard. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it, and see you in more stuff that I have to make for the channel, because I'm actually back to uploading now.